folks, Ariel over here at Finance. Today I am harvesting some carrots, which we have tons of. This bed was all carrots with peas in the center. The peas did really well earlier in the year, then they kind of got demolished by the flea beetles, and then when they just disappeared one day, the peas have been growing out since then. But they, and actually they're still blooming, but they haven't really produced anything more. Well, they've tried to, but we're getting such hard freezes every night that every little pea they grow just freezes right away. But the plant's still alive and they're still blooming. Anyway, but down both sides of the peas, we have carrots, and they have done spectacularly this year. Best. I've gotten a lot of good carrots before. This is the best carrot crop I've ever grown, though. And when the soil was a little bit more moist, they were just pulling out clean. Now it's been a few weeks since we've had any rain, so I'm using my favorite little, I think you can find this thing linked in the Amazon Shop Finance site, but it's my favorite gardening tool that I use all the time. I like growing all the different colors. I've experimented with dozens of varieties over the years. Now I just grow like my 8 or 10 favorite or so, but I'm getting beautiful stuff like that. And every year I try to plant less because it seems like we just get more carrots than I can possibly use up. I planted less seeds and they all got way bigger. So I think I actually have more volume of carrots than ever. A few decided to go to seed. This one, the top kind of froze off, but it was trying to make a flower there before the flower froze. Once they've done that, usually the carrot root is very, very tough, so that one's just going to go in the compost. They're not really good for eating at that point, but the vast majority are just making lovely volumes of carrot here. And I'm not harvesting them all today, just a bunch, so that I can do some more cooking with them over the past bunch of weeks. We have, not that you can tell much by looking at this, but we have eaten a lot of carrots. Fresh, sauteed up as a side with other foods, in carrot cake, in carrot soup, and so on. And at some point here, I'm going to run out of these beautiful warm fall afternoons. It is crazy that we do not have more snow on the ground right now here. And by more, I mean we haven't had any, which is highly unusual. We're about a month late for our first snow that I would normally expect. But anyway, you can store carrots in the soil all winter. A lot of people do something like drop a hay bale or such on top, and then you can just pick that up and pull your fresh carrots all year. That doesn't really work for me because of our climate. The ground will often stay insulated enough to not freeze if it gets piled up with enough snow, which normally we get, but with enough snow on it to keep the ground from freezing, then you couldn't get to your carrots to eat them till next spring. And if there's not enough snow or you clear it, then the ground will freeze, 6-9 feet deep, even deeper sometimes if the ground is cleared like that. And so it's just not a real good option for our setting. But it is possible in most warmer places to simply store carrots for the winter in your garden and use them or pull them up as you want to use them. These are a deep yellowy orange variety. If I remember when I'm putting this video together, I'll try to look up all the names of the kinds. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to get all of these out of the ground before it does freeze completely solid like that. and so on. But that's not what I'm doing today. I'm just continuing to harvest. I'm going to make some bunches here to give to some friends and neighbors, and then maybe make another carrot soup, another carrot cake, and so on. And if you have any awesome recipes that use lots of carrots, I will be delighted to hear about them, because we have, oh, I don't know, maybe 100 pounds out here still to eat up, and that is a lot of carrots. So I'm probably going to can some, probably going to dehydrate some, but I've still got a lot of carrots. So if you got a favorite recipe that uses tons and tons of carrots, I would absolutely love to hear about it. I've had folks ask me, what do you do to get big, beautiful carrots and to get them to germinate well? There are a lot of tips and tricks people have out there. I think, honestly, all I do is live in a cold climate. I plant the second the snow is off the ground, normally in the spring. I'm not waiting for any last frost date because we don't have one. So as soon as the ground's not frozen solid, I sprinkle carrot seeds out there. It's generally cool and damp. They germinate well. They like cool weather. They get sweeter after we've, been killing freezes down into the 20s at night for at least a month now. They get sweeter in that kind of weather when it's below freezing. The carrot makes new sugars kind of in their veins. This is a simplistic explanation, but it makes more sugar in their veins to act as antifreeze. So a lot of things will get sweeter after a frost. And yeah, I think that's the main thing I do, is live somewhere cold. So in your area, that may, depending how warm your climate is, mean that planting now and growing actually through your fall or winter, if you're a lot warmer than me, may be a good option for you, because a lot of people's winters are about the same temperature as our summers often are. But yeah, I'm just getting huge carrots. That's only 2 of the varieties. So I'm going to keep pulling them for a while here, then we'll wash a little dirt off so they look prettier. Usually if I get a couple loosened up, all the ones beside them pull out just fine. This is another orange variety. If you weren't aware, carrots do come in lots of colors, and I enjoy growing lots of different colors because each one tends to have its own, I do this for lots of foods obviously, but each different color tends to have its own set of micronutrients and anthocyanins and antioxidants and all that yummy stuff. So I just like to grow a variety. Plus, of course, it just makes this digging for buried treasure kind of exciting and fun. And I do start pulling these much earlier in the summer. I'll try to pull the largest looking ones out and leave the smaller ones to get bigger. At this time of year, they're mostly large, and so I'm not being real picky about what I'm pulling up now, but I do start using them when they're much smaller than this. But my favorite is definitely after they get a lot of freezes. Most of them, even though our beds are only these 8 inches deep, or where the soils continue to settle from them being refilled and new, probably only 7 inches deep in places, the carrots have pretty much maxed out that depth. A couple of these ones are so big, like that. It's just incredible. Very, very good carrot harvest. See, that guy probably actually ran into the bottom of the bed and was trying to turn, looking for more space. Come back down this side of the bed. Once again, you can see several that have actually flowered before they froze. I like to just leave those, even though I'm probably not saving much of my own seed because I have plenty from other years. Plus, this would most likely be cross-pollinated, so I wouldn't know what I was planting. These are all heirloom carrot varieties, and so I could certainly save seed, but mostly I leave them because the pollinators love carrot flowers. It is, ever since they start blooming, they've been covered in bees and beneficial wasps and, you know, all kinds of stuff. Check out this one. This is another yellow variety. This one, I'm pretty positive, is Uzbek Golden, I think. I'll look up the actual name. But they're from Uzbekistan, which is another high, cold mountain country. They are probably my favorite yellow variety. They've done really well for me year after year. Well, and that's right up to some more orange ones again. That must be the dividing line between several of the colors I planted. But yeah, if you're somewhere cold, they're one I recommend you try out if you like carrots. I got all of my seeds from rareseeds.com, which is Baker Creek, and they have a fascinating variety. Like I said, over the years I've tried many kinds of carrots, and now I've kind of narrowed it down to my favorite ones that I like the color and flavor of best and that do really well in our climate. But these Uzbek carrots are one that is very consistently one of my favorites. I also kind of like that they tend to grow in a really, they don't have a lot of taper. They tend to grow in a really straight, even, you know, shape from top to bottom, like you can see there. Chickens, by the way, in case you didn't know, seem to really love carrot tops. When I pulled the wheelbarrow down here to where the hydrant is to wash them off, all the chickens came running over to try to strip the leaves off the tops.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Come back next time for more adventures.
Thanks for watching.